Hi students, good evening. Now we'll start with the last and the final module, that is module number 4. In that we have only one chapter, that is final accounts of a sole proprietor. Now we saw what is sole proprietor. Various types of entities are there. It may be a sole proprietor, a partnership or a firm or a company. But here we have a final accounts of a sole proprietor. That means who is an individual businessman. Now when I say final accounts, here you have to look for the manufacturer. As a sole proprietor, we are looking for the final accounts of a manufacturer. When I say manufacturer, that means a person who produces goods in his factory. A person who not only procures the goods, but he produces goods, he manufactures the goods in his factory. So definitely when a manufacturer himself is manufacturing the goods in his factory or in his godown or whatever in his factory, then he has to prepare a manufacturing account. Then he has to prepare a trading account. After that, he has to prepare a profit and loss account. And at the last, he will prepare a balance sheet. So here we are going to see in a final accounts, we are going to see what types of accounts in a final accounts which is required. One is a manufacturing account, trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. These 4 types of accounts, and the last one, 3 types of accounts, and the last one will be the balance sheet. Now, what is a manufacturing account? When I say I have to prepare a manufacturing account, what is a manufacturing account? See, manufacturer, when he produces the goods, when he manufactures the goods in his factory, then he has to prepare a manufacturing account. So that from that manufacturing account, he will come to know what is the total cost of production which he has incurred, what is the total cost of production of the goods which he has produced in his factory will be there. So he comes to know the cost of production produced by him. Understood? So that is that. So what will be the items which are included in a manufacturing account? The first one will be the opening stock of a raw material as well as opening stock of work in progress. Work in progress, that means raw material which are in progress, which have not yet reached to the stage of finished goods. Then we also include all factory related expenses, all production related expenses, all manufacturing related expenses like carriage and work, wages, repairs and depreciation of machinery, as well as you can also include all types of manufacturing expenses, factory expenses, and at the last it will be a closing stock of raw material and the closing stock of WIP. Then we have to come to a trading account. Now here, when a trader sells or a trader purchases the goods from outsider, understood, or when a manufacturer purchases some goods from outsider, he has to prepare a trading account. So from trading account, what we come to know is what is our gross profit or what is our gross loss. समझ में आ रहा है? From manufacturing account, we come to know the cost of production of goods produced. From the trading account, we come to know the gross profit of a business which is earned by a businessman. So now here again, then after that we have to prepare a profit and loss account. Now trading account shows us the gross profit earned by a businessman. Profit and loss account shows the net profit earned by a businessman or a net loss which is suffered by a businessman. So what will be the items which will be included in a net profit and loss account will be all the indirect expenses, or you can say office and administration related expenses will be included in your profit and loss account, like salaries, employees' salaries, you can say depreciation on furniture, depreciation on computer items, again all indirect related expenses, selling expenses, selling and distribution expenses, all finance expenses, all finance related expenses like interest, like depreciation on some of the machinery, furniture items, etc. And apart from that, we also include other indirect income in manufacturing, in profit and loss account. Other indirect income which is not related to your production purpose, say for example discount received, or you can say commission received, that will be included. After that, we include all the appropriations from in your P&L account, and then at last we come to know the net profit or a net loss. After preparing your manufacturing account, trading account and P&L account, we come to the last part, that is the balance sheet. Now first understand, balance sheet is not at all an account, but it is a statement which is prepared at the end of the year, and that shows the net position of the business, the financial position of the business. It shows the assets as well as liabilities which are having by a businessman. So it shows the overall financial position of a business, assets of the business or liabilities of a businessman. So that includes your fixed assets, your current assets, your tangible, intangible assets, your investments, your cash at bank or your closing stock. And for in the liability side, you also come to know about your capital as well as about your long-term loans, your payables, your creditors, anything about the outstanding expenses payable, that all will be included in the balance sheet. Now here, after contents of manufacturing or trading and P&L and the balance sheet, we all have to look after here for one practical sum for which can come in the exam, and which will be in that you have to prepare a manufacturing account, trading account, P&L account and a balance sheet. Trial balance will be given to you as on a particular date, which will be definitely a tallied trial balance. After that, some adjustments will be given to you at the end of the year. Those adjustments effect you have to give in your solution, and you have to prepare manufacturing, trading, P&L and balance sheet. So now here we are going to see how to prepare step-wise manufacturing, trading, P&L and the balance sheet. So that can come as totally 15 marks question. Understood? So now let's see. So first we can read the question as you have to prepare a manufacturing, trading and P&L account as on 31st December 2013, where trial balance has been given in some debit items are there and some credit items are there. First condition is we have to see the trial balance is tallied. After that, I told you have been given some year-end adjustments. Now whatever the items which are there in trial balance, that will have a one effect. Either you can, that some items may be related to trading, so you have to post in trading. Some items may be related to balance sheet, so you just have to put the balance in your balance sheet. Whatever the items which are there in your adjustments, that will have two effects. One is debit and one will be credit. Accordingly, what will be the nature of the item. समझ में आ रहा है? Understood? So now here we will start how to prepare step by step and how the effects will be given in your final accounts. So you come to know the cost of production. After the cost of production will be transferred to your trading account. You come to know the gross profit. After the gross profit, it is transferred to your P&L. You come to know the profit and loss. Then you can say the net profit. Net profit finally will be credited to your capital account, and you come to know the balance sheet position, where you come to know the assets and liabilities owned by a businessman. Understood? So now let's start with the question. So you can see the trial balance has been given, which is tallied at 3,29,000. After that, some adjustments are given. So the way to solve the final account sum is whatever the adjustments are given, that whatever the adjustment which is related to the items which are given in the trial balance, you just have to mark against that item the adjustment number. So when we come while posting that item in our final accounts, we will see the adjustment, we will solve parallelly the adjustment also. So we will come to know this item is without adjustment, the balance item is with adjustment. समझ में आ रहा है? Understood? Now first I'll read the sum. See, it's been on the debit side, some of the many items are given. On the credit side also the items are given. So we can see one by one, and accordingly we will post one by one item. Some items are related to trading account, so that we'll post in trading account. Some items related to manufacturing, we'll post accordingly there. Some items are balance sheet items, so we will post in our balance sheet only. समझ में आ रहा है? Understood? Let's start with it. Now go for the adjustment. First bit is, see, there is a additional information is given that closing stock of raw material, finished goods and work in progress has been given to you. So that will come in your closing stock. So there is nothing to mark in that. For the second number, salaries is 2,000 and wages is 2,000, which is paid in January 2014. That means these are outstanding salaries and wages. So in your trial balance, wherever there is a salaries and wages, you just put number 2 over there. So we come to know over that, like there is a second number adjustment we have to solve along with that. The third one is lighting expenses are outstanding and insurance is prepaid. So wherever lighting and insurance is marked, you just mention number 3 over there in your trial balance or in your rough notebook. The fourth one is 25% of lighting and rent is to be charged to office premises and the balance to the factory. So again, you mention to your lighting number 4 also. That means in lighting there are 2 adjustments, number 3 and number 4. Both we have to solve it. Number 5 is depreciation on machinery as well as on furniture. So against your machinery and furniture, you will just mention adjustment number 5. And the last one is provision for doubtful debt is to be maintained at 10%. So in your datas, whenever the datas item is there, you mention number 6. As well as on the credit side, there is some old RDD is given, provision for doubtful debts, there also you will mention 6. Now we can start solving one by one item. See, the first item which is given to your trial balance is raw material as rupees 23,000. Now the raw material will come in your manufacturing account. So you can see over here in your manufacturing account, second item as raw material consumed, which is your opening stock, rupees 23,000. Now there is some formula for the raw material consumed. Now what is the formula for the raw material consumed is opening stock of raw material plus purchases during the year minus closing stock of raw material will give you the raw material consumed. So this is your opening stock. So that's why we have put it in inner column. Whenever there is some adjustments in the item, we put that column in the inner column. Again, we'll do the adjustment and the final amount will appear in your outer column also. So raw material opening stock, we will put it there. You can see opening stock of raw material 23,000. Next one is work in progress 10,000. So above raw material there is one item, opening stock of WIP, that is 10,000 that we have mentioned over there. There is no adjustment in your WIP, so you just exactly put it in your final column, in your outer column in the manufacturing account. The next item is finished goods of 15,500. Now finished goods opening balance will come in your trading account. First item, that is in your trading account, you can see over here is opening stock of finished goods 15,500. The next item is sundry debtors. Now these items related to your balance sheet. So in your balance sheet, go to your balance sheet asset side and you have to put it in inner column because there is some adjustment in that. So in asset side mention balance sheet. In asset side in balance sheet, you just mentioned debtors 27,000. You can see over here 27,000. Now whenever you prepare a balance sheet, the first item in your balance sheet comes as your tangible assets, or you can say your fixed assets, then your current assets come. That's why first two items are machinery and furniture. That's why I kept the space, and then I put the debtors. The next item is carriage inward. Carriage inward is related to your manufacturing expenses, so that will come in your manufacturing account, carriage inward, directly in outer column 1,000. The next one is carriage outward. Now that is your P&L item, so you can put it in your P&L carriage outward 1,000. You can see in your P&L account the first item is carriage outward 1,000. The next item is bills receivable. That is in your balance sheet below debtors, you will put bills receivable rupees 16,000 in your balance sheet asset side. Next is wages 12,000. Now that is related to your manufacturing account. So put wages in your manufacturing account. There is some adjustment in wages, so I put it in inner column wages 12,000 in my manufacturing account. The next one is salaries. Now salaries is your indirect expenses, so that will come in your P&L account salaries. You can see that is also there is some adjustment, so you can see salaries 10,000 in your P&L account inner column. Understood? Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.